The update on Chairman Wontumi is that he's still in custody. Yaman the bail conditions. Still at this point, he has not met the bail conditions yet. The time of recording around 6:57 in the morning, 29th of May 2025. It is a later Yamano ebia bail conditions no na here, no problem. But at this point, omiti Yaman the bail conditions not that, but at this point omiti bail conditions no. Na nipa ba kwa baba bontian ba be kasa wo ho His Excellency former President Bawumia, former Vice President Bawumia, Vice President Bawumia. Wababa be kasa wo ha obi be sie enye sun ketwa na Bawumia baba be sun. Sani America no enye Bawumia pe na wo kasa. Bawumia's special aid bi nso aba bontian ba be kasa. And I am going to me say Senate talks politics no. I am going to do an editorial on that. Bawumia ni aid no in some way can you be editorial on that, so you want to wait on that, don't worry. But here read the Bawumia some way can we say I am deeply concerned about the arrest and continued detention of the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party (NPP), Mr. Bernard Enchubu Isiako Wontumi, particularly as the charges remain vague and his whereabouts remain unknown. Now, Chairman Wontumi has been charged by the CID. Yen charges on the abono by the Euro Council. The Yatene say are charging with causing financial loss to the states. But Bawumia say charges na ye de abo Chairman Wontumi ye vague. Obronika say bibi ye vague. Na just ade ne kran ye nhye de hu de ye kan fa ho. Ene na Obronika say vague. I say ade a wo say wo de charge ni pakro ye de na wo kan. I say mu nhye dan tre ade na see ye. I say what I say intino obeso tre say charges say de bo Chairman Wontumi no ye vague, right? No problem. I say in a democratic environment as ours. Na MPP for omo kasa no say in a democratic environment, in a democracy, ya no mo ho ye mesre. Ya no mo refi omo ho just some few months ago. And the MPP for you have the temerity to talk about democracy. The effrontery to talk about democracy, MPP for. And the MPP for to make kasa wo democracy ho. Mo democracy. I say in a democratic environment as ours, no individual is above the law. Equally, no Ghanaian, regardless of political affiliation or status, should ever be denied their constitutional rights. Justice and due process are not optional. They are the foundation of our democracy. Let me take it again. In a democratic environment as ours, no individual is above the law. Equally, no Ghanaian, regardless of political affiliation or status, should be denied their constitutional rights. Justice and due process are not optional. They are the foundation of our democracy. Democracy a yetimu no obia shemrana se di bakono ye NDC new or ye MPP new obia e woso shemrana se. Eni kwan se ye deny obia the constitutional rights, Bawumia na kasa no. Any kwan say ye deny obia the constitutional rights. I was say ye hwese pepepe yo ebesi. Enye se nipa ko ye NDC ni nti ono de pepepe yo beko na afa o ye MPP ni dia ne de na democracy no eno na ye foundation Bawumia. Ende de Bawumia o ye lawyer and ende de anyway, that's just anyway. I say I have been in constant touch with Mr. Wontumi's legal team since this morning to ensure that his rights are protected and that due process is followed. I commend them for their professionalism and vigilance. So when Chairman Wontumi a legal team kasa na we who say yes, omo ye professional. I also urge the Economic and Organized Crime Office (UOCO) and all relevant state institutions to act strictly within the bounds of the law and to respect the rights of Mr. Wontumi as guaranteed by our constitution. Any deviation from these principles risk undermining public trust in our justice system and weakening the democratic values we have worked hard to build. Now, you see, I've always told you, the problem I've always had with this country is the number of intellectually dishonest people. onim nanso populist inti populist agenda inti esan se amanfo bebre na no ekọ a certain way inti no ono so person ko sa certain way no meanwhile onim no kware no, and that's exactly what the former vice president Bawumia is doing here. Bawumia say or urge Iroko and all relevant state institutions say they should strictly stay within the bounds of the law and respect the rights of Mr. Wontumi. His the former president, His Excellency, the former vice president, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia say, "Adia we ye see ye no, edia na Iroko aya, omwetia Bawumia ne rights. Ontre yen adia Iroko aye, a etia Ghana mra." It's as simple as that. Because Bawumia categorically has stated, say Wakashe Iroko say woman respect Bawumia ne rights. Omu making sure say treatment of ma Bawumia no. Edim raso. Inti me pesa otrayin. Me see treatment of them Wontumi, sorry. Wontumi enye Bawumia Wontumi. Inti Bawumia some can say treatment a ye de ma Wontumi no. Ye making sure say edim raso. Ye making sure say you respect Wontumi right. Me person me bisa Bawumia say. Edia na Iroko aya etia Wontumi ne right. Wo montre. Is it the arrest? Are we saying say the Iroko they are not supposed to arrest any person? Isn't it against the laws of this country? Say Iroko for ebe arresti obi wo kro ni mu ana. Is it not in this country? Yema Iroko to me, say won't arrest you be. It is a Iroko akwa arrest Chairman Wontumi a. Right about Chairman Wontumi a mokas and the right has been infringed upon. No montre and rights cry are infringed upon. Is Chairman Wontumi not under this constitution? Is Iroko, CID, police this microphone no? Womu ma to me see yenko arrest you be. So what is going on? Inti me hune say because the populace any America no MPP for na say be omo de omo nim de ekoso. Ye beka so omo nche da nko school sa, nche da ni nim de sa. Ah omo de omo afa ne say acheche ma Wontumi onye hwe no. You see Bawumia knows better. And this is just a populist agenda. He's being intellectually dishonest right here. Say yen granted Chairman Wontumi bail no. Wo ka try yen say bill na yen granted or no. Is it against the laws of this country? Because yaman the bail condition no. Omitia any ebe granting the bill. Ghana mratre say uchi obi a also make sure say at least in the next 48 hours and abibi no nipa kono we hu ne charge. So benya bail and so nya bail. Iroko for ama the bail condition. Wontumi edu. Wontumi emiti. So what is unlawful? Our workers said they should respect your Wontumi right. Is it that your man and the lawyers na? Why someone waka has given you out? Say you've been in touch with Chairman Wontumi's legal team. And then Omo Katro say yes. They are making sure say his rights will be protected. Or say, I have been in constant touch with Mr. Wontumi's legal team since this morning to ensure that his rights are protected and that due process is followed. I commend them for their professionalism and vigilance. Not just say what Fred Chairman Wontumi in the legal team no. And Momo can say, oh, we need that Chairman Wontumi so pan. Because when I can say you commend them for their professionalism and vigilance. Vigilance not just we need that Chairman Wontumi so they've been given access to Chairman Wontumi. They are professional, not just say they are working. Now say you chiobi, now you're saying the lawyer, hey, yeah, Juma. What does it mean? That means the lawyer is close to the person. So you are commending them for their professionalism and their vigilance. What does it mean? It simply means Chairman Wontumi. When you access to the lawyers. So what can Bawumia tell us? Can he pinpoint one thing and tell us, based on this single thing, Ninti, Adia AC no, Chairman Wontumi is not being treated fairly. And then can we have a discussion on that? Say, indeed, is Chairman Wontumi not being treated fairly? Or it's just the usual, send your kind of populist agenda? Yembra ni yembra mbeke bin shame. Dienye dede. Because what? Bawumia can't. The rights of Chairman Wontumi, we should respect the rights. Okay. Chairman Wontumi, is he not under the law? It's him to me arrested. No. You're finding out, say, Bibi, why you Bibi Bonnie him to me in China? Is he not under the law? So what is going on here? What is happening? As Ghana must always remain a nation governed by law, not by arbitrary power. Our republic is strongest when our institutions are both firm and fair. Into here, Bawumia, in some way, no. And for me, Bawumia nkawanka sampo ankeye. Because the same way I working, I mean, at the end of the day, what were you trying to do? What were you trying to say? It was better for Bawumia to speak to say, oh, I've gotten in touch with Chairman Wontumi. His lawyers are professional and they are vigilant. And then I am just assuring every single MPP supporter, say, we are handling this issue. We are going to handle this issue. Once you do that, it's okay. And then the obey to me can be bisa. Or we are assuring every MPP supporter, so we will make sure that Chairman Wontumi's rights will not be violated. And don't put there one microphone who say yes, you are there for Chairman Wontumi. But Bekasa say now what can I say? I said the Chairman Wontumi chair your chin and against the law. I saying, and so people responded to Bawumia. Now response no, we are going to go through it. We have Joyce Bawa Muktari Krano. Ebo Bawumia chenya asem ketwa. Yebehwe Joyce Bawa Muktari nsem okatre Bawumia. Obi say you are a hypocrite. Get the effing fuck out of here. So we are somehow can say Bawumia we nya chumni sebi pray dia sa free soko. Obi ka say get the fuck out of here. Sa no patre free soko ba eno no kan twi mu a atem didie atiase I mean basically no the nipakuno person or person can twi kase mu a obeka say fa kwa asem free soko enna nipakuno person or katre Bawumia but Bawumia ye panyin inti no o kan bibisa na ensem fata atem didie atiase. I see the demonstrators also deserved this compassion from you, but you ignored them. Say, are you demonstrators? No, and then the Bawumia kasache want to be his right. You need to krum her. Bawumia, here His Excellent former President Bawumia Yesrel, don't allow people to disrespect you. You were the chairman of the police board. The police, what they did against Ama governor and the rest. And we saw how you violated their rights. The police funded the year. No. As the chairman, you couldn't call your people to order. And then, Bawumia, you are. Obia Samuel Wakanya was said by this time, Chairman Wontumi say, Chairman Wontumi pie, no one say, Max in Nima. Ebeni yapan say mahama pa obi na sema wo kan no say Chairman Wontumi pie na nanim ni bibia ye fine ebeya ne ya because anya bia no e was say broko ne mu obi asema wo kan no which is not right but say wo dwen hu na wa me I have constantly told you say MPP4 just say narcissistic personality disorder. Who are the omode just a month ago omode Ghana for and then they say won Bawumia so awosu. And the democracy and the Chairman Wontumi na channel no and they say you see so we MPP4. I say I have lost respect for you, truly an enemy of the state. And to be the no say we lose respect ama Bawumia. Na Bawumia or minor townful. I say, my friend, even you, be careful. Chiefs, you are all in the line. Did you listen to Ghanaians when we asked you to cancel e-levy? Foolish youth. Okay, obi there no. I say, who gives a shit about Bawumia's concerns when laws are working? Obi nso asema wo ka tre Bawumia no na wo ha na fa ho. Embra ye djuma wo Bawumia ye hwan. Obi asema wo ka tre Bawumia no. This is from Joyce Bawa Muktari. I say, dear Dr. Bawumia, Thank you for the statement on the reported arrest and detention of Mr. Bernard Enchubu Isianko, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi. Like you, I believe firmly in the rule of law, constitutionalism, and the fundamental right of every Ghanaian. These principles form the bedrock of our democracy, and form the bedrock of our democracy and must guide the actions of all institutions of state without fear or favor. However, I find it somewhat ironic that concerns about due process and arbitrary power are being raised now, especially when many Ghanaians over the last few years have felt the heavy hand of state institutions acting without transparency or fairness, often in circumstances involving political opponents, civil society actors, or ordinary citizens with no political clout. Osi ende de Bawumia wo kasa. Asem na wo kan de no koy wom de. Nanso ende de, eye me wanwa pa, se ende de wo kasa etia de we. Embra mo time de mu de ye Ghana fo wo krom ha, ore fi ho Bawumia. I say while I join the call for transparency in this matter and for Mr. Wontumi's right to be respected, I urge consistency in the application of these standards. Justice must not only be demanded when it affects our own, it must be upheld for all Ghanaians regardless of our party colors or affiliations. Let this moment serve as a turning point, not for selective outrage and justice, but for a renewed commitment to uphold the dignity, rights, and liberties of every citizen. Joyce Bawa Muktari, Nyansasem. Obi say, I believe that the entire MPP has to go in hiatus, restructure, and build from the grassroots. Maybe it might be a discomfort, but that will go a long way if the MPP wants to come back in power. The replies to this tweet reaffirms my assertion. People bought MPPO. So be as someone can say, who say the AC they will say MPP. Omoko back. Ekoko restructure. No more back from the grassroots because we read the comments. Now when who say your Ghana for full MPP. Enya sem ketwa. I say abba. Summarize give me. I say sometimes shaking my head. Obi asama work and no. To the bia wa usu niti. Says Bawumia to the bia gunhu ni mu ase dodo. Gunhu ni mu ase. I say before you go come power there, you go keep you make these people they use you like this. I say I am such he got this of Chat GPT. Okay. I say I wonder what Aaron will say about this post. I say, but you weren't deeply concerned about the whereabouts of ordinary Ghanaians when you, the then commander of the police force, was overseeing the brute force used to snatch and heckle protesters in September 2023 and September/October 2024. It go do you like fame. Just as I said, just September, omo edi galamsey for no, omo protest against galamsey no, and no katre no. So well, now your police for penny, but and the one can he a be your sesini. Obi say you right to that is a message about to me. Bawumia what wrong semo? Obi say massa. As Ghanaians are not taking it from Bawumia. Cra. And I like the energy. Obi say AI don't tire. You see text no Bawumia got it from AI. I say Obi say pebe bitina. That is Bawumia pebe bi enkotina cra. I say hey. Where were you when protesters were denied their rights? Opposition serves you people well. I say hell is waiting for you. Why? Continue this attitude and behaving like a clown, okay? So be say abonsam Jim train Bawumia. Onko swa no nya ne ho sa. Mona abonsam Jim train no. I say okoto de ne bodwe. Obi nso dia work no. I say in less than a year, protesters were arrested, detained, and denied of bail for more than a week, and you were the then vice president, but you said nothing concerning it. Now a party chairman who is involved in numerous crimes is being investigated, and you are crying. I say, people actually stepped out to vote for a man thinking this way. Nah, bro. That's someone can say, think of 4 PSA you got to about movie about me. Say an agency, Dabi. I say, with this post, I can now clearly say that Dr. Bawumia doesn't care about Ghanaians, except people from his MPP party. How on earth this man kept quiet when protesters were arrested and detained, but today he's writing to show solidarity for his party? Obia behu ne level, obia behu. You're too soon, inshallah. So far, not even a single comment praising Bawumia say why there. Even peaceful protesters weren't spared under MPP. Look at what they are doing today in opposition. You know exactly what he did. Please don't lie. Now you are deeply concerned when innocent protesters were locked up for weeks under you as chairman of the police council. Where was all this concern? Your hypocrisy is stinking. These are Ghanaians dealing with Bawumia. Me sure say Bawumia or go through Sadi or be say Charlie. Where they knew. So you guys knew about democracy. Non-partisan group of people demonstrated about Galamsey during your governance, and some of them were detained because of that. Because of that, and you are here writing trash nonsense. You were poisoned. Still haven't learned your lessons. Nothing you said here makes sense. In a serious country, you need to be in jail. You. Before poison Bawumia still unsi anyansa bi afremu na Ghana ye yoman bia ye serious a na kabalista Bawumia e wose ye chinitum. Obi say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na osunye. That is on tia say Bawumia esi ye doc on tia say Bawumia ye doctor. Obi say tackle to floko eno ne den. What does it mean? You were the head of the police committee or whatever when citizens were arrested and detained for exercising their constitutional right to protest. You were not deeply concerned for them. This is what you are justifying with unspecific generalization of human rights. When the environment was terrorized, you watched on. You proxied him and supported him to torture it. Obviously, you stop Galamsey now. They stop Galamsey now one day. You know hear him. The mate has found his voice. Go back to sleep. We are in 2025. Thick head. You get audacity. When the young people were arrested for demonstrating against incompetence and Galamsey, you kept mute. Maintain that same energy. Since when did you start being deeply concerned? You are next safe. Into be someone work and say, you're next. His Excellency, hopefully, when you guys get power next time, I hope and pray you do things differently. Because in this life, you shall reap whatever you sow. It is as someone can say, in this life, you shall reap whatever you sow. No? The truth of the matter, and the reality is that what you reap, you are going to what you sow, you are going to reap more than that. It will be odia a brono, a single grain, and the share. Or shesu yene niya. A bruni fifia, a dozen sin a single grain. So whatever you sow, you are going to reap more than that. With the absolute due disrespect, no one cares about your opinions. Be honest with yourself. The protesters your government arrested, weren't they also Ghanaians? This government is following in your footsteps. Anyway, so those are comments. Ghanaians dealing with Bawumia, left, right, center. That's interesting. Won't try your comment box anymore. That's it.